And here we are out here after another LSU football practice. Of course, our instant analysis videos are brought to you by the Schmolke investment team in Alexandria, and we'll talk about them a little bit later in our report. But another beautiful day. I've heard three radio guys on different shows I've been on. I heard Buddy say it last week. Chamber of Commerce days, and we had another one today. It's unbelievable. The good karma, and Buddy likes to always talk about karma, the weather that we've had out here for each of our spring practices, compared to what we had last August when almost all of our practices were rained out and they went indoors. Of course, we didn't get to cover any of it. Welcome in, buddy.
Happy Tuesday to everybody. A lot of wind blowing today. Saturday was just absolutely perfect. I took a lot of time to talk about the defense today. And Mike, I got to be honest with you, I'm getting to see it up close. And you are going to get fired up about this defense. Obviously, you need to work on depth. But speaking of fired up, Matt House, the new DC, who of course was with the Kansas City Chiefs, and Tyrann Mathieu, the former Chief, been at LSU all day. But Matt House is certainly a little butt chewing today. Folks, there's no fooling around, and we'll give you some more tidbits today. But you are going to be pumped when I talk about the defense tonight.
Tyrann Mathieu out there walking around. He's going to be here all week long, and that's very much a positive. What does that mean to these guys, these current LSU football players, when a guy the stature of Tyrann Mathieu comes out and is with you all week long, and in meetings, practices? It doesn't get any bigger than that. And you talk about the most notable LSU football players in the modern era of football. It's Joe Burrow 1 and Tyrann Mathieu 2 in my mind. He's the pinnacle. Even though he had the issue that he had, he's still well beloved, and he loves LSU. And of course, he's donated money to the program. He's got the what do you call their little club in there?
Yeah, Players Lounge.
The Players Lounge is he financed that, and just a great ambassador for LSU football, with aspirations to being a football coach one day.
You know, folks, it's not the size of your body; it's the size of your heart. You talk about where he lists Tyrann Mathieu, Kevin Falk, and going way back, George Bevan, pound for pound, as good as you have ever had at LSU. And I got to tell you, seeing Mathieu on the sidelines, if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't think he's a football player. He's not that pumped. He's probably about 5'9", 5'10", a solid 200. Kevin Falk, I mean, can you imagine what Kevin Falk did with his body, and George Bevan going way back? But that's what it's all about.
Every muscle fiber in his body is fast twitch. There's something just unbelievable about Tyrann Mathieu. But I got a good view of everything. When you go to Tiger Bait later, and I have our video package up, I'm guessing our videos have been averaging probably 5 to 6 minutes. I bet my video tonight's probably 7 or 8 minutes. A lot of the quarterback stuff, some really good drills that they have, some unique stuff. I can't wait to go back to check that out. But look, White hit the portal today, yesterday. Baylor's offered him. But I'm looking at the linebackers, and I think that's another strong group. You mentioned Matt House. I really like what I saw out of the linebackers. Defensive linemen hitting the sleds today. Quarterbacks getting a lot of work with Joe Sloan. And I'm noticing Denbrock kind of steps back a little bit. Sloan is your vocal guy with your quarterbacks. Very much hands-on, and it looks like they're all connecting very well with him.
First team defense today, folks, it was impressive. Ali Gay, wearing number 11, cut his money year. He comes back, of course, next to him, Jaquelin Roy. Now, you and I covered this recruiting very closely. Coming from U-High, this is Jaquelin Roy's year to ball out. Mason Smith, big number 0, first player ever to wear 0 as a football player. This is a big year for him. And then B.J. Ojulari, who led LSU in sacks. That's your front four. Mike Jones Jr. and Greg Penn III are your two linebackers. And in the nickel, I keep talking about the two corners from Okie State and ULL. But look, Joe Fouché wearing 13, Greg Brooks wearing 12, and Matthew Langlois wearing 14. He's in the mix with some of these nickel formations. Oh, by the way, number 6, Derek Davis from the Pennsylvania area, involved. Sage Ryan, a lot of depth, but that front four is very impressive.
You want to talk about a guy that this is a money year or a year that you're saying time for him to step up? you know, if Sage Ryan's going to be a guy, I think this is very important for him. I know there's, you know, some of the little tidbits we hit is, look, he was highly rated out of LCA, but a lot of people are dinging him for his length and his height, saying maybe he's a little undersized. But let's see what they can do with him. You mentioned Jaquelin Roy, Jacoby and Guillory. You're talking about there's a lot of defensive linemen there to work with. A lot of them with high rankings coming out of high school. But some of them, it's time for them to show what they can do, because there's a lot of depth there. But I think that group, if some of those guys step up, it can be the strength of the LSU defense.
Sage Ryan probably going to be covered in the slot. I did see him today, very smooth. And Jordan Tolles, I don't know if you noticed this, but Jordan Tolles taking reps with the corners. So there are a ton of safeties. We keep talking about this DBU and defense, and it is exciting. Oh, by the way, tell me what you saw on the offensive end of it today, Mike.
Yeah, I zoomed in on the offensive lineman. I still am amazed by the way that Will Campbell looks. I liked Doomerville. I liked some of the guys that I saw on that side of the ball, but that's another case where I'm zooming in from about 60 yards away. The offensive linemen always seem to be in a spot where the media can't get to them. So luckily I have a high quality camera with a pretty darn good zoom lens. So I'm gonna be able to check that out a little bit later. But again, this census analysis report is brought to you by the Schmolke investment team. They have over 45 years of combined experience in handling their clients' financial needs. And this financial environment, experience does very much matter. Call Bart or Brian Schmolke at 318-448-3201, 318-448-3201. Outstanding organization and financial group right there in Alexandria, Louisiana. And of course, it don't matter where you are in Louisiana, give them a call. If you're looking to make some investments or anything you're wanting to do with your portfolio, these are the guys that you want to talk to. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA/SIPC.
Yeah, Bart, you know, I was one of these guys that wanted to invest in a little bit of Lululemon, and I called Bart and his brother. Yes, buy Lululemon. It's high. Everybody out there that has a wife that buys this stuff, it's a great stock to own. And once again, just like all of our great sponsors, Pride Roofing and this tea and all the others.
You can't see it, but he's wearing Lululemon pants.
No, I'm not. I don't wear Lululemon. They wouldn't let me represent Lululemon. Couple of other tidbits. I think that we have to stress sense of urgency, no walking, attention to detail, knowing where you're supposed to be at a very, very quick pace. And after what baseball's been dealing with 4-hour games and people are griping a little bit at the pace, this is the opposite. This team is going to be in shape. They're not there yet. Oh, by the way, we get a lot. We get to see most of the practice on Saturday starting at 11 o'clock.
Full pads.
So we'll definitely give you some more in-detail tidbits.
They practice Thursday, but there's no access, so we don't get any players or Kelly until Saturday, and we get the entire practice. So really very much looking forward to that. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, please like and share. Share it to your social media, your Facebook, and of course, go to tigerbait.com, subscribe, choose the annual package. If you're an LSU fan, I think you'll really enjoy everything that we're offering up on tigerbait.com. And of course, I'm gonna have our full video package. We've got tidbits we drop on the message board. If there's breaking news, and I think there's gonna be, this 2023 class is gonna start getting some hits. You're gonna start getting breaking news sent to your cell phone. You get our newsletters and the whole ball of wax. So we're very busy at tigerbait.com right now.
Saw Wes Weeks and some of the new guys, Kobe Fields picking up some of the new guys. We're getting acclimated once again. If you're an LSU fan and a pundit, go to lsusports.net until we get the roster. You're going to have to get acclimated to these numbers. I did see Micah Baskerville right now. I asked where Baskerville was the other day. He's running with the threes right now. But Savion Jones, Bryce Langston, a lot of the guys, the D linemen from Missouri, this is going to be interesting to see what Matt House is going to deliver from the defensive side of the ball.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the other side. Thanks to the Schmolke investment team for sponsoring our post-practice reports. We'll be back here Saturday. We get a designated number of periods that we can shoot and talk about, but we're going to have access to the entire practice. Something's just unbelievable. With Brian Kelly, the amount of access he's given us, and the weather has cooperated as well. So See you on tigerbait.com and again on Saturday.